announcement. Good evening. If I could have your attention, please, for a moment. Early announcement. We are out of programs. We were very generous in bestowing programs on anybody who walked into the life of the church here. If you as a family or as friends gathered have some extra programs, just raise them in the air and they will be picked up quickly and brought to others. Well, they're working. Yeah, oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's where they all
All right, we got some extra programs up front here. Thank you very much. Some programs way over that way. You're all very understanding. Welcome to Westminster Presbyterian Church on Lake Avenue in Pasadena, California, where the tower still stands. That's your part out there. We need to go through that one more time. Welcome to Westminster Presbyterian Church on Lake Avenue in Pasadena, California, where the tower still stands. Amen and amen. And now, if you have cell phones on, remember to silence them. A few words of thanks. First of all, to Kevin Mays, the man with the baton. To Paul Clintworth. To Paul Clintworth, who is the point man and worked so carefully and assiduously with our office here. And to Bill Bing, the narrator right behind me. You're going to be hearing from him much later or later in the program, or in just a moment. Also thanks to our organist here, Dr. Imre Zilis, who will be featured here. You'll hear him in a moment. And a special word of thanks to Catherine Carter, who's the director of the Westminster Center, and you'll be hearing from her a little bit later on in the program. All proceeds from this evening go to the Westminster Center. It's the Westminster Foundation that underwrites the cost of this concert so that we're able to present it free of charge to you, the community. But we invite you to give generously for the Westminster Center. I think I've said all the thanks that need to be said, but I will say one more word of thanks, and that's to all of you for coming out this night and for all the years of supporting this program and for celebrating Christmas with us here at Westminster. And then one more word of thanks to the musicians. Something like this is very much a work of the heart. It is your love of music, your love of the spirit of the time that enable this to happen with as much success and constancy as it does. So my personal thanks to all of you. And now, welcome to the Westminster Brass Ensemble Concert.
That's a tough act to follow. First of all, thank you, Father Tom. And again, thanks to Westminster Presbyterian Church for hosting this concert. I was here at the beginning. It was not more than 70 years ago that I was here playing my concert. And Paul was also here. He was about 8 years old at the time, but he was it was a prodigy, and we're glad that we can continue this tradition. There are 5 of us that started. This was a brass quintet. And after a while, somehow it kept growing and growing, and the people kept coming, and somehow we ended up with what I think is one of the most amazing, wonderful musical concerts of the holiday season. So I'm really glad that you could all be here to enjoy it. How many are here for the very first time? Let's see some hands. Great. Bravo. How many have been here for 5 years or more? How many have been here for 10 years? How many have been here for 50 years with me? Thank you. So I want you to know also that I'll be your tour guide for the concert tonight. Somehow they allowed me to get up here and talk in front of everybody. But I want you to know that AI, I had to use it in order to come up with the program notes. And as you know, a lot of people are using it. And in my case, AI stands for average intelligence. So you'll hear a lot of that, and you'll hear a lot of trumpet player jokes tonight too, because I play the trumpet. And for example, this is a trumpet player's joke. Why do I play the trumpet? So I don't have to sit in front of it. So of those people in the front row, good luck. Well, what can I tell you? Some people can handle it. All right, so our first selection, getting back to business here, was Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It's a great Christmas carol, and one of the favorites, and it has appeared, this is a little known fact here, in 2 movies. And I've given you a choice. This is a multiple choice. It has appeared in which 2 movies? It's a Wonderful Life, Terminator 1, A Charlie Brown Christmas, or Star Wars A New Hope. There are no wrong answers, by the way. We're going to feature next our trumpet section in the Shepherd's Pipe Carol. This was written by John Rutter in 1966, and he's probably one of the best-known English composers of our day besides Paul McCartney and Andrew Lloyd Webber. But I did have a chance to check on YouTube on some of John Rutter's comments about Christmas carols, and I thought it was kind of nice to think of. We go to these concerts and we hear these carols year after year, and I don't know about you, but sometimes if you hear some things too often, like that 1-800 da 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 da, you know, that's enough, right? But with these Christmas carols, you can't get enough. And he says, what is it about these carols that makes them so special? So think about these things. He says they should have a recognizable melody that you can remember from year to year and perhaps remind you of your childhood and previous holidays. Most of all, carols are songs, dances, or lullabies. The best carols belong in one of these categories, but there are exceptions, such as Hark the Herald Angels Sing, which was the first carol on a concert. It's not a dance or a lullaby, but a memorable melody. So other dance examples of some carols that you know would be Good King Wenceslas, bum, 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 bum. You could dance our Ding Dong Merrily on High. A power of a lullaby would be Silent Night. So that gives you something to think about. Why are these carols so special? It's a special time of year. It reminds us of family, friends, and a chance to express ourselves in so many different ways that we don't have a chance to do during the year. So this is Shepherd's Pipe Carol by John Rutter. Nice. Our principal trumpet, Rob Shear, had a very interesting instrument that he was playing. And Rob, could you stand up and hold up the instrument that you were playing? And what is the range of that instrument, Rob? He says it's about 40 feet if you throw it real hard. So it's these instruments that are, you'll see, their trumpet players are playing flugelhorns, different kinds of C trumpets, B flat trumpets. The horn players actually are playing two horns at once, which kind of makes them even more amazing. The tuba player is playing one, but it's bigger than all the rest, so he doesn't really need to. What's that? It's a shorter range. The trombones, in my estimation, the trombones have the most beautiful sound of any instrument. You put a trombone choir together, and it's just like the most beautiful sound in the world, except for maybe high notes on a trumpet. But it is a great sound. And the percussion instruments, look, they have so much equipment here. Last year I mentioned that they had everything but the kitchen sink, and I looked over and there was the kitchen sink. So they have, but they're the ones that make the most money. But all they have to do is hold up a stick and put two sticks together. They call it a clave, and there's another 25% on top of the check. So they have a lot of equipment. They may be the smartest people in the band. Next we have Carol of the Bells. Mykola Levantovich was a Ukrainian composer, conductor, ethnomusicologist, and teacher who lived about 100 years ago. He specialized in a cappella choral music, church music, and arrangements of folk music. Carol of the Bells was written in 1904. Here's another quiz for you. Composer John Williams conducted a version of this carol for which movie? Choose from the following. Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Terminator 2, and Home Alone. We'll figure this out later on. And so it is indeed Terminator 2. So this version is by David Hansen, a contemporary composer and arranger now living in Minnesota. that also featured an unusual instrument from the trombone section, a euphonium. And if you could hold up the euphonium for the folks here. And this instrument, I talked about my favorite sound. Well, my favorite instrument in the concert band is the euphonium. It has the most beautiful, mellow sound. Well, that is except, of course, for the high notes on the piccolo trumpet. Our next artist comes all the way from Altadena. And the fact is that he's from Altadena. Don't let it fool you. He is one of the best organists in the world. I started out my career, one of the concerts I did was with E. Power Biggs. And he's a big name in the organ world. And it was a great concert. But I'm telling you, this guy is every bit as good as E. Power Biggs, if not better. When we're brass players, we often are asked to play in church, and we love to do that. But we're never quite sure what we're going to get when the organist shows up. And it's just hit or miss, as it would be in any other kind of a situation. But when I first played here at Westminster, I had the chance to play with Emre, and it was a wonderful experience. We're very fortunate to have him appear tonight as a soloist. Emre, would you like to come out and introduce your music? And here is Emre Zilas, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard Ave Maria by Franz Biebel, and it was arranged by our multi-talented conductor, Kevin Mays. So I'd like to acknowledge Kevin's contribution as an arranger on that really beautiful selection. This next song might date back to Poland in the 13th century. It's based on a traditional Polish melody that is a lovely carol that was translated into English and published in 1920. These arrangements were done by Roger Harvey for the London Brass Ensemble. And I'd just like to comment on this song and the previous song as being just some of the most beautiful pieces of music that have ever been written and so beautifully arranged once again. So the next piece is Infant Holy, Infant Lowly. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Catherine Carter, and she will tell you about the Westminster Center and how important it is that the work that they're doing. And I might add that there are raffle tickets to purchase some really great gift baskets in the back, and if you would purchase those, that'll help support the organization. And here she is to tell us about it, Catherine Carter.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be with all of you tonight. This is one of my favorite nights of the holiday season, and I hope it's yours too. I'm so grateful for these musicians, the glorious music, and this stunning cathedral that blows my mind. I feel like I'm in Europe somewhere. It's so beautiful. I'm so grateful they opened their doors to us for this. Well, I'm going to say 10 years ago now, I had a husband and wife walk into my counseling room, sit down, and the wife proceeded to grab a list from her purse, hand it to me, and say in a very stern, gruff voice, "This is what I want you to do for us. If you can't do it, we're leaving." And I sat stunned and collected myself and thought, wow, this is going to be a challenge. The good news is I love couples counseling, and it is one of my greatest privileges of my life to be able to help people who feel like they can't talk to each other or relate or connect to each other anymore, find that connection and spark again. Well, I hung in there, and I worked with the two of them, and I tell you, they were committed to the process. And by the end of the 6 months that we worked together, The woman was so pleased that she said, "You can tell our story to anyone that you like." And so I have full permission to let you know that was completely sanctioned by the couple. But you guys, every single week, we have stories of individuals finding hope again, finding the support that they need. We've seen families who are barely on speaking terms walk through the doors and find a way to relate to each other again. This work is so sacred and so privileged. We absolutely can't believe that it's our job, that we get to help people to relate and connect, to love better, to find hope and joy again, and we get to do that every single week. But you know, we can't do it without the support of this community, because in order to keep fees low, we need subsidy, we need some help from the community. And every year we get contributions and donations and gifts, not only from Westminster Foundation, but from this community, people who believe in the power of counseling and the support that is so needed in times of distress and disconnection. So we're so grateful that the Westminster Foundation, Westminster Presbyterian Church, Pastor Tom, my amazing board, our board members are here tonight as well, that just do an amazing job supporting us and coming alongside of us and allowing this concert to be a benefit for our little counseling center, which is literally right next door to the church here on Atchison. We currently have 8 therapists on staff. We see individuals, couples, and families. We also recently this year began doing more child counseling again with an excellent therapist we're so happy to have on board. So we hope that you'll think of us if you have friends or family that are considering getting some counseling support. It's our joy to work with them, and we're so pleased to be able to be a part of the solution, bringing families and individuals back to their joy again in this city. Well, tonight in the lobby, we are raffling some beautiful holiday gift baskets. Now, these baskets were put together with a special theme in mind by our therapists, and then we sell tickets back there so that you could win one of them and take them home tonight. So if you buy raffle tickets tonight in support of Westminster Center, be sure not to run off after the concert, but come back to our table when it's all ended, and we'll be calling out the winners then. Again, it's my privilege to be here tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this very special occasion. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Catherine. And I ask you, dig deep. This is a really worthy cause. We're helping how many people are here from Altadena? A lot of people. And how many from Pasadena? How many are people from Jackson, Mississippi? Tulane University, anybody? Never mind. So our last piece before intermission is called Rejoice by Stephen Edmondson. This work is dedicated to his mother, and it's a lively dance that reflects the festive celebratory spirit of Christmas. This adaptation for brass is by Paul Clintworth, who is playing horn tonight and is the de facto producer of this event. Thank you, Paul. This is Rejoice. Thank you very much. There'll be a short intermission. We'll look forward to seeing you after intermission. Please have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. The second half of the concert is about to begin. And that featured our tuba player on the double bass. So let's give it up for Chuck Coons. Yeah. All right, so of course we all know the name of that piece, Have Yourself a Merry Christmas. It was introduced by Judy Garland in what movie? You get again, multiple choice? Somebody say it already? No, I'm sorry, it was Caddyshack. All right, so there goes that bit. Let's see, next on the program, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire is sometimes called the Christmas song. It was written by Mel Torme, words by Bob Wells. It took Mel Torme all of about 40 minutes to write this song, and it was, of course, in the middle of the hot summer. So in 2022, the 1961 Nat King Cole recording of this piece was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the United States National Recording Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. This is arrangement by David Hansen. Enjoy Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. You want to introduce the band? So that featured, really you have to say, that featured the trumpet section. The rest of the band was purely accompaniment. And so we'd like to give credit where credit is due. So I'd like the trumpet section to stand up and take a bow, because you deserve it. Let's hear it for the trumpet section. No favoritism at all, absolutely none. Paul, who is our de facto producer, he's reluctant to get up and speak, but I have coerced him. Even Paul, was it last night you were in Las Vegas? Yes? And does your wife know about it? Because I don't want to, yeah. Okay, good. So Paul was in Las Vegas. He's this incredible instrumentalist, demand all over the world. He was playing for Barely Manilow last night. And we have Paul. I've asked him to introduce the band to each other, if they would please.
So the only thing more frightening than playing the French horn is public speaking, right? I think so. So I won't go on and on, but I'm very grateful to all these players here for coming and playing. LA's got a very deep talent pool, so we're very lucky here. But none of this is possible without you, the audience, and without Westminster providing this concert. So we're so grateful to get the opportunity to play for you. Everybody out here that you see playing for you, you've heard them on TV or in the movies or in Disney Concert Hall or anywhere that you go. All these players, you've heard them somewhere. So thank you for coming and supporting this and letting us play for you. It's a real treat for us. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. That was really well done, man. You should do that. I just may have lost my job, but that's okay. I'd like to come back as a player because there's an offering right here. But there's a line by one of the famous trombone players named Tommy Shepard, and somebody says, are you playing? Are you still playing? And he says, yeah, I play better than ever. It just doesn't sound as good as it used to. So kind of that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to leave it there. So the next selection is Swingle Bells. This is composed by Raymond Burkhart. And Ray was one of my students and a delightful fellow. He lived life to the fullest, passed away recently, and he composed for many mediums. Has over 130 works in publication. You should know about Ray that he had a great laugh, wonderful sense of humor. And he will be forever missed, and we have his wonderful musical legacy to live on. This is his Swingle Bells, and we'll feature our tubist, Chuck Kuntz. Chuck Kuntz on tuba. All right, at this time, I would like to bring back our awesome organist, Imre Zilis. And Imre, would you like to say a few words about this next piece of music? Or three pieces? There's a sign right here that says, Bill, don't lean into the microphone.
So I'm going to play a piece by Pietro Ion, Italian composer. He was the organist in St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York in the 20s and 30s and early 40s. The next two pieces by Gordon Young, Come All Ye Shepherds and Good King Wenceslas. The lively arrangement by the organist. He was an organist in a Presbyterian church most of his career in Ohio. He was born in Kansas, but he worked in Ohio all his life in a Presbyterian church. So, Presbyterian organist in the Presbyterian church.
Rise Up, Shepherd and Follow is the next selection. It's a African-American spiritual, and I love this song because it's so simple. Some of the most beautiful pieces of music in the world are not necessarily very complicated, and they're very simple, and I think that lends to the beauty of the music. So this is an arrangement by David Madu, and it was originally recorded by Glad, a Christian pop rock group that has sold over 1.5 million albums. This is Rise Up, Shepherd and Follow. I'd like the French horn section to stand up. They are obviously featured on that last selection. So French horn players, if you're not too tired, some of them were working last night till 2 o'clock in the morning. And we must acknowledge the low brass section, because if we don't do that, I won't be able to go home safely at night. So I would like to introduce the low brass section, because as I already mentioned, it's my favorite sound in the ensemble. So low brass, would you stand up, please? This next selection, Christmas in Herald Square, was written in 1985 by Tony Bennett's longtime friend and vocal coach, Tony Tamburello. He recorded it in 1998 for his album The Playground. It was later featured on his classic Christmas album. It's a contrast from other songs that were very popular that year. You might remember also that number 1 and number 3, I think, on that year. It was Careless Whisper by Wham and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, also by Wham. So this fits somewhere in there, I'm sure. As you may recall, Tony Bennett passed away this year, and we would like to dedicate this piece tonight in tribute to Tony Bennett. Chris Sebla on the flugelhorn. Alan Steinberger on the keyboards. Chris Kuntz on bass. And certainly the percussion section should not be excluded from a solo bow on this event. So I'd like the percussionists to stand up and receive the acknowledgement of our appreciation for hauling all this equipment. Thank you. My God, that was beautiful, Chris. Did you take private or something? What was that? My gosh, I mean, I played for a long time, and I had many people ask me, the man I respected the most, let's put it this way, was a fellow named Manny Klein, who played first trumpet in the studios on such things as On the Waterfront. Let's see, he played just about every major motion picture for about 20 years. And he always would say the hardest thing in the world to do is to play the melody and do it beautifully. And that's what Chris did tonight. You heard the work of a real artist. So thank you again. Yeah. So we have just a few more tunes to play for you tonight. The next one is entitled It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. By the way, who arranged that last song? That was really beautiful. That was Paul. Nice and simple and just really nicely done. Yeah. So this next tune, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. It's written in 1963 by Edward Pola and George Weil. It was recorded that year by pop singer Andy Williams. And it's also been recorded by many others, including Johnny Mathis and Garth Brooks. This original 1963 version remains the most popular, and it's arranged by Mark Kibble, a Grammy Award winning vocalist and jazz musician. One final item of business here before we get to the sing-along. We've had a lot of quizzes tonight, and I want to make sure that we don't leave without knowing what is the most used Christmas song in movies. You get, again, a multiple choice. Jingle Bells, Christmas Conga by Cyndi Lauper, Dominic the Donkey, true song, and White Christmas. Okay, and the answer is, let's see, Meet Me in St. Louis. No, the answer is Jingle Bells. It was revealed as the most common song used in Christmas music as of 2015. This festive tune has had 373 appearances in total on soundtracks. Auld Lang Syne is a close runner-up with 295 uses. This is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. So there's only one person that I have failed to acknowledge in the ensemble, and that would be our keyboard artist, Alan Steinberger. And Alan is a first call concert and studio musician. He's the principal pianist, keyboardist for the Pasadena Symphony, Hollywood Bowl Orchestra, and the Los Angeles Philharmonic, which he appears with very often as a featured artist on synthesizers and multiple keyboards. He's appeared with the Pacific Symphony, Santa Barbara Symphony, San Francisco Symphony, Philadelphia Orchestra, et cetera, et cetera. And I just wanted to mention in detail a little bit more about one of these players. I could go down every single one of these biographies of the people here tonight, and you would be equally impressed, I'm sure. So let's hear it for the ensemble. Let's hear it. Okay, you've been sitting there, you've been a great audience, but now we'd like a little bit of something from you in return. This is your chance to sing. And we really want to hear it because the more you sing, the louder you sing, the better we play. So I'd like to thank all of you, of course, for being here tonight. Kevin Mays for conducting, really a great job of also a fabulous trumpet player. I'd like to thank Imre. If Imre is still here, come on out, Imre, and take a bow. And of course, to Westminster Church for supporting us so nicely over the years. So you have the words to the carols in your program, and without further ado, this is your chance to shine. So let's hear it.